Hi, I'm Lucas, a data scientist here at Eppo, and I'm going to give a quick overview of the product. So when I first load up Eppo, I'll see a list of all of the experiments that are either actively running or have already concluded. But today, I'm going to dive into this new pricing experiment. So if I click into this page, I'll get a view of every metric that we have added to the experiment so far, as well as values in the control group, the variant, the associated lift, and the confidence interval for that metric. So in this case, we're seeing that conversion within 1 day is up substantially, almost 12%, and the confidence interval is away from 0, meaning that it's quite likely that this is something that we can roll out. Now, that's a bit surprising, because I had originally planned on running this experiment till the end of the month, but thanks to Eppo's sequential confidence interval methodology, we can actually make a decision now without having to worry about the peaking problem or inflating false positive rates. So that's great, but before I actually roll this out, I want to dive a little bit deeper and make sure I understand the impact this is having across our user base. So if I come to this Explore view, I'll be able to split this out by any property that I have configured. In this case, I'm going to look at user type. So if I come here, I'll see a chart of the impact across both returning users as well as new users. Now, I see that the impact is larger for returning users, but it is up for both groups, so that makes me feel pretty confident that this is safe to roll out to everyone. However, I might want to dive a little bit deeper in the future into this new user group and understand what in the flow might be causing the effect here to be a little bit smaller. But for now, I think that that's enough to make me confident that we can roll this out. So I can save that back to this Explore chart. So later on, when I come back and revisit this experiment, I can remember exactly what I looked at in making the decision. So that's nice. Our conversion is up, but there's probably other metrics that I want to check before I actually roll this out. So if I scroll down here, I can see other metrics that we have configured. We have some breakouts by geography, so we can make sure that the lift is not targeted towards a specific geo. And then we also have purchase value added to this experiment report. So we can see that both the purchase value per order and the purchase value per user are up substantially, which is great news, but I want to make sure that this result is actually trustworthy before I go share this out to the rest of the org. So I'm going to go here to the diagnostics view and understand exactly what checks have been done to make sure that this result is valid. So Eppo will confirm that all of the data that goes into this is fresh and up to date and that we're not making decisions off stale data. We'll also check to make sure that assignments are balanced across different cohorts so that you don't have more power users in the pre-period in one variant than the other, as well as overall status, the data checks to make sure that the pipeline producing these results is operating properly. So that all looks good, but I want to just double click on one thing to make sure that I'm fully understanding what's going on here. For any one of these metrics, I can come and hit copy SQL and actually get some code that I can run in my own warehouse to understand what is Eppo doing to actually compute these numbers. So that's very helpful to kind of dive into some results, but let's say I really just want to make sure that this is pulling from the right data source. If I click into the metric page here, I'll see the actual definition that this is pulling from data within my warehouse. And if I go click into this view, I can actually see an example of that data set as well as identify which column we are pulling data from. So this looks great. This is a data set that has been vetted by our data team, so I feel highly confident that these numbers are right. So I'm feeling good about sharing this result out to the rest of the org. Now from this page, I can just copy this URL and send it across, and anyone else can come in here and take a look at this and apply feedback before we make a decision on rolling this out. But once that's done, I can come here and hit make a decision. I'll say that this is a positive result to ship out the variant. I can add a quick summary of the takeaways of the experiment here. And from here, once I hit complete experiment, this will roll out to all users. So that's just a quick example of how the Eppo workflow can help streamline experiment analysis and decision making. There's obviously a lot more functionality to dive into here, and we are always happy to hop on a call and let you know a little bit more about that. Great, thank you so much.